Okay, it looks like we're live. So it's Stephanie Evelo here with the Evelo team at Keller Realty, and today we are going to share with you the title of our program today is If You Can Choose Your Spouse Online, You Can Choose Your House Online. So I've got three of our top agents on our team, on the Evelo team here in Indianapolis, and we just want to have just a real quick conversation about working with buyers online and what that looks like now, right now during this COVID experience. So why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourselves? Could each of you start out? Let's start with Terrance. Can you introduce yourself?
Terrance Perkey.
And what's your position on the team?
I'm an agent.
Okay, awesome. Lauren?
I'm Lauren Bauer, and I am another agent on the team.
Okay, Boston?
Boston Fields agent.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I brought these three on here today because they work with so many buyers, and they are out there literally. I don't know if have any of you been showing today? I think
Yesterday.
Yesterday, I was gonna say, and I think Terrance has been out. So I know that there are still buyers out there buying right now. We're at this stay home ordinance, and yet we still have buyers that have essential needs, and so we're helping to assist those clients in their needs. So welcome to everybody, and the goal today is to help you understand what we have changed in our process to help our buyers still shop for homes as needed during this time. But we want to do this from help you understand how we're doing this from a virtual standpoint in order to be safe as possible, because for you, safety is first. Our greatest goal is to make sure that our clients and our team and our staff and those that are involved in any transaction are safe. Safety first. So let's start out. The biggest question that people have right now is if somebody's thinking about buying, is it a good time to do this?
So I think it just kind of depends on everybody's situation right now. Things are changing daily, and it's just a matter of where you are, and main thing is job security. So if you have a job in, the restaurant industry or some, commission based, right now is probably not the time to buy. But if you have, great credit and you're qualified, you have money saved, you're in a good position, then now it could be a great time to buy because there's less competition out there. Not as many people are looking, and the only people that seem to be buying currently are ones that have to buy. So you would, you could knock out a lot of competition and possibly get a better deal for a home right now.
Okay, so if somebody is ready to buy right now, how do they start talking to one of you, or what is their first step, or what do they need to do if they're thinking about buying?
Yeah, so I think kind of the first step with that would be doing an online consultation, kind of something like this, except it's more of a one-on-one to answer any questions they might have. But we were talking about this the other day, and I think Terrance was saying, a lot of times we figure out likes and dislikes on showing houses, like that first couple times you go out. So it's really important now more than ever to really kind of have a feel of what you dislike and like, kind of get to know your home that you're in right now, and kind of figure out what you like about it, what you don't like about it, certain dimensions, just so then you can stay as safe as possible and kind of limit the showings that you're going on. So, it's kind of an unusual time, but right now, kind of really narrowing things down the best you can. So when you do see virtual tours, you go over that consultation with one of us, then there's a better understanding right off the bat.
And I know, Boston, you had shared with me, you had that scenario even just this last week, right? You had a buyer that was wanting to look at something?
Yeah, I had a buyer want to look at it, and we reached out to the agent, and they had a virtual tour set up already, which is starting to see that more and more. And it was something that we were able to eliminate right off the bat without actually seeing it in person. So them knowing what they wanted and being able to translate it to a virtual tour was a big help.
And it wasn't just the virtual tour that's posted out online, though, correct?
No, it was more in depth, something that we asked for based off of what we were looking for.
And then so getting that for your client to be able to share and look at together. Okay, yeah. Awesome. And so do they go out and actually look? And then how are you providing them? How is the Evelo team providing them with the info about what is on the market, or what does that look like right now?
So like Boston mentioned, right now, as much as we can, we're trying not to go to the house unless it's absolutely necessary. So a lot of virtual tours right now. So what that looks like is, once we have that buyer's consultation that Boston was talking about, we set you up on a search and we're keeping an eye out for properties. And if there's something that piques their interest, we request that virtual tour. So this could be, a video that the agent shoots and we send it to them. It could be a FaceTime call or a Zoom call like this with, the seller's agent and the sellers walking you through. So you can say, oh, I kind of want to look at, what's that closet like and things like that, and opening the door. So we don't have to be in there, but they can still see. And then if it's absolutely necessary and they want to move forward, but they want to get into that house, we just do these, what we're calling, a no touch showing. So the sellers leave the house for a minute, but they have everything open, all the closets, all the cabinets. So no one has to touch anything and they can see the house and get a feel for it, taking the necessary precautions, taking your shoes off, things like that. But keeping everybody safe is kind of the main goal. And that's how we are going about it right now.
Sure. Yeah. And so when everybody's referring to the buyer consultations, but these would be virtual, online, everything would be being done virtually at this point, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I know that answer, but I just want to make sure that the public knows that yes, everybody's trying to meet virtually online before anything is ever attempted at the house, and trying to alleviate any opportunity to have to go to the house first. So Terrance, how are you approaching working with the buyers in today's market compared to the past? Like, what does that look like?
Just being on it with, like, when I have a buyer interested, if they send me a property, I'll go through, I'll run the numbers on it, make sure it's a good buy. I'll call the agent, make sure there's no offers on it already, and go through the property, just make sure it's a good fit for them, make sure it's not the first house in the neighborhood or backs up to a highway, and try to eliminate all the bad attributes about the property before we go out and show them anything off the bat.
So what I'm hearing is it's not just what they like or want, but also what maybe they don't want.
It's
Right?
our job is to find out everything they don't like about the property. Our job is not to fall in love with the property. That's not our job. Our job is to make sure they have good investment. And so my goal, my job, how I sell every day, it's like backward selling. I tell them everything wrong about the property. I tell them everything I dislike about the property. I'm not a negative Nancy, but I definitely am open and honest about the things that I think that are going to hurt the value of the property, even if they're not thinking about it. Some people don't notice the busy road in the back of the property. Some people fall in love with the property and don't realize it's the first house in the neighborhood, or they won't realize that the layout's really small and you can't put a couch in. So, those attributes that you kind of talk to and help them through are what's going to make them have a sound investment. It's our client's job to fall in love with the property. It's our job to make sure that what they love is a good investment.
Okay, and so are you seeing or feeling, how are the sellers reacting differently to work with buyers right now virtually? What is that looking like?
The majority of the market that I see is still very much motivated to sell their properties. We've had an influx of our sellers just trying to sell their properties because they're scared. They're scared what's going to happen. They're scared what's going on with the market. So there's really a huge opportunity for buyers to actually come into this market where we're in a 30-year low inventory and get a good deal, get a value on a property.
Okay. So quick question. So now they've talked to you, buyer consultation, got into the house, ruled anything and everything out. So now they've written a contract. And so once under contract, what are we doing differently to help our buyers buy virtually?
So, with this, it's, all documentation is electronic, all, the purchase agreement, all of that, you can do virtually. Working with vendors through inspection, usually we like to have the buyers come to the inspection, but we're getting creative and having the inspection reports and the inspector just do a more thorough analysis, so they don't have to be on the property, or not more than one person has to be there at a time, putting others at risk. So we're just trying to minimize the need to be face to face as much as we can, and doing a lot of things. A lot of things are virtual anyway when it gets under contract, and so now it's just a matter of that one extra step of things like inspections and things like that, just trying to minimize the face to face.
Okay, awesome. So is there anything else that you feel like we need to be sharing out to those that are thinking about buying right now in this our new norm, on the new norm in the virtual world that we're living in? Any last thoughts, any last comments, anything else last to share?
I would say don't give up on it. We are in a 30-year low inventory, and we are in the middle of the coronavirus outbreak, but there's opportunity out there. You can still buy a house safely. And when you come to the Indianapolis market, we're still top 3 for affordability across the United States and top 3 for desirability. So our market, even if the entire economy falls apart, is not going to be hit like other markets. So there's still a great opportunity, and there's a good chance that after the virus is kind of held at a standstill, that the market's probably going to pick back up for a little bit. And right now is a good chance if you are looking for a house and you've been looking for last year, you already know how crazy it is. So now's an opportunity to be able to find one, and we will make sure we can facilitate it as easy and as safe as possible.
Yeah, and I would say making sure your pre-approval is up to date with everything that's been going on. Just reconnecting with your lender or getting hooked up with a lender, just because the way the economy is just things are changing with them. So reconnecting with the lender and making sure everything's good to go is still probably pretty important right now.
Yeah, and Lauren, I know you even had a situation this week with one of the buyers in mortgage. Do you want to share just real briefly what that looked like?
Yeah, I mean, so I've had a couple situations this week where buyers are pre-approved, so I have first-time home buyers that were planning on using a government program that has down payment assistance, and then the government decided to do away with that, so that we had to get other ways to help them get that money. And then people are getting laid off right now, and that's a reality. And there was 3 days ago they could be laid off and still close on their mortgage if they had a return to work date. But now that has went away also. So it's just kind of keeping up with your lender and talking to them daily about what's changed, where you are, what position you're in, and just making sure you're on top of that so you're in the best position you can be.
Awesome. Anything else? Yeah, no, on that note, I think it's real important. We did do a live video that people can check out about working with the lender that we use and prefer. And so if anybody has any questions, they obviously can reach out to our team so that we can get them in contact with a mortgage person, or if they're having trouble with their current mortgage scenario, and we can try to help them through that scenario. If you want a copy of our information on what we are doing to help you buy virtually, if you can just drop your email here in this feed, then we'll be sure to get you a copy of that. Just drop it here in the comments, and we'll make sure that that is emailed out to you. Or if you want to reach out to us, our team direct would be, we're all working from home at the stay-at-home scenario, but if you want to reach us, our team is 317-863-4663. It's the same number, nothing has changed. It's just where that call is routed to is different. So feel free to reach out to us on the team phone or on the team email, info@eveloteam.com. So it's info@eveloteam.com. If you'd like to send an email there, we'll get you that document about how we are handling this virtual world as a buyer. And we look forward to helping you and assisting you in any way we can. So thanks for joining us. And remember, as always, make each moment count. Bye-bye, guys.